The biggest lie in public speaking is that you need to connect with your audience. Hi, I'm Shanice, and what I might share with you might surprise you, but I teach public speaking from a deeply psychological place. So, what if I told you that trying to connect is exactly what's killing your connection? The speakers who create the deepest bonds do something that's completely counterintuitive, and it's based on a principle from therapy that most speakers have never even heard of. Here's the psychological truth that changes everything. Real connection doesn't come from trying to relate to your audience. It comes instead from something called differentiated presence. And it's a concept from family therapy that explains why some people are magnetically compelling while others feel needy or desperate. You see, when you try to connect, you're actually performing for approval. But when you practice differentiated presence, you are simply being genuinely yourself while remaining curious about other people. So, what's the difference? The difference is your nervous system. You see, anytime you're with people, there's something called mirror neurons, and your audiences are constantly reading your nervous system state. When you're in connection seeking mode, your nervous system is slightly activated because you are scanning for approval and adjusting yourself based on reactions. And your audience will unconsciously pick up on that neediness. But when you are in differentiated presence, your nervous system is regulated. You are not performing for them or against them, you're just with them. And neuroscientists call this co regulation. Your calmness helps regulate theirs. If you think about speakers you find compelling, I bet you they seem completely comfortable, whether you agree with them or not. And that is differentiated presence. So let me break this down into three practical elements. The first is emotional ownership. Instead of saying, you've probably experienced this, try, here's what I've noticed in my own experience. Own your perspective without making assumptions about theirs. This feels safer to your audience because you're not putting words in their mouth. Pillar two, curious indifference. Be genuinely curious about how your message is landing, but indifferent to whether or not they agree. It sounds like this. I'm fascinated to see how this resonates with different people. This removes pressure and creates psychological safety. And pillar three, present moment awareness. Now, instead of being three steps ahead in your content, i.e., you are kind of thinking ahead, stay present with what is actually happening in the room. Notice energy, people's posture, their breathing. You see, when you're truly present, you don't have to try and connect. This will happen automatically. Now, here's what most speakers get wrong when it comes to authenticity, because it's a big one and it's a big word these days, right? Everyone's saying be authentic. They think that vulnerability means sharing personal struggles, but that's not vulnerable. That's just oversharing. True vulnerability is being willing to be seen as you actually are in this moment, including your nervousness, your excitement, or your genuine uncertainty about how something will land. The most connecting thing you can say isn't, I used to struggle with this too. It's, I notice I'm feeling excited to share this with you right now, or I'm curious how this sits with you. Present moment authenticity is magnetic because it's rare. So try this. Here's your homework. I always give you some practice, right? In your next conversation, practice what I call lighthouse presence. Let me explain. A lighthouse does not chase ships. It simply beams its light consistently and lets those ships navigate toward it if they choose. Be your authentic self. Share your genuine perspective. Stay curious about their experience, but do not perform for their approval. And notice the difference in how people respond when you are a lighthouse versus when you are a searchlight, scanning the room for anyone and everyone to please approve of you. So remember this, real connection isn't about being relatable. It's simply about being real. When you stop trying to connect and start practicing differentiated presence, something beautiful happens. People connect with the actual you, not the version you think they want to see. Next week, we're diving into visual aids, and I'll show you why the best visual aids aren't even visual at all. They're psychological. My name is Shanice, and I teach public speaking. I've been a public speaker for many years, and I run several businesses, and I've seen how speaking has helped me land deals and actually be successful in my career. If you want more of this kind of stuff, follow me, or you could simply subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube and tune in next week when I share more. Thanks for watching. Bye now.